require a higher level of play. You know, you've got to be able to juggle the RP and chrono timings around, right? That's always something we talk about when you've got the long cooldown. So there is that there for Among Us. I think Fnatic is more straightforward to run this draft, but you have to consider how Among Us plays. Now you've got the jab snap, and well, we've already seen jabs in the snap. We already know that he too goes for the Ags down the line. Abid down mid. Magnus versus Void Spirit matchup. It's not too bad for either side. I would give Abid a slight edge though, as it's much more reliable for Magnus to clear the wave. That's something Moon has to watch out for. Fnatic, their win condition is still Raven, but it's much earlier. So they have to fight early. Forev wants to have an early mech to enable that aggression. Moon has to get a very good timing on his level 7 into Yule's Ags, and then you can really start to set pace. So that's what Fnatic has to hit. Among Us, pretty much the same timings as last time. Nothing really changes except for the itemization for Abed. So we're looking at Echo Saber Blink, maybe a BKB, and then you're set. And that's pretty much it. I think it's a straightforward draft for them in terms of it being really similar to game one. So the objectives remain the same. The timings are pretty similar. And they just need to kind of repeat that performance if they want to win this one out.
And see how this one pans out. Could end up in a draw, could end up in a 2-0. Among Us yet to be undefeated. Who knows, Fnatic, they could be the team to take one game off them. Could be.
Could be.
Not looking like that from game one, but you never know.
It's a tall task. Yeah, it's a tall task, to be fair. Among Us, I mean, you know, yesterday, Cuckoo did say they wanted to go undefeated. So there's no messing around. It's all serious, no games. And we'll see if they'll get that. Fnatic, you know, every series really does start to count, Mike. We're way past the halfway mark. We've only got, what, 3-4 days left in groups. So you've got to start finding some wins here. They're still dead last. They want to climb up, at least into the lower bracket. You've got to really put that work in, especially in this game.
Absolutely. Bring up the new odds for game 2, and they are basically the same thing for game number 2, Among Us being the heavy favorites. A bit more favorites than last game. So they have gone just a bit more up in terms of odds. Looking a bit better here for Among Us. See what Raven can do on this Fen. Like, I like to see Raven on these heroes that don't require, you know, 40 minutes of farm. They can get active early on and, you know, get involved with their team. And that was something Raven was trying to do in game 1. Even with the Arc Warden, he was trying to get involved, trying to help out his team that was struggling. And he just couldn't, because when he did, it really wouldn't amount to much except him wasting his time. At least with the Sven, once you have the Ags BKB up after, say, Mask of Manos Echo Saber, you're pretty much ready to go.
Yeah, it's less of a time sink, so we'll see how far they can push it. A small scuffle over these runes.
Savage, he's going to get rooted up. Downey going to spawn up and Forever will take it, but now Jab's going to close in and they will make a bit of a chase onto DJ. So nice bit of harassment out from the side of Among Us. Looks like we might have a Trillian versus Trillian situation between these two up at this top lane.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a bloodbath. You've got the Darkseer, Tiny, and the Oracle going up against these three. A lot of control, lots of early damage. The key here for Fnatic, probably going to look for the toss place, or maybe just run them down with Iron Shell spam.
Jabs. Posturing around Zephyr. Doesn't really want to back off yet. DJ actually went for the level 1 Avalanche, which really was interesting, right? Like, you just pointed that out, but without the toss-up, it's going to be pretty hard to set up anything. That Avalanche is a much longer cooldown. When you see Jabs and Whitemon, they just hold the side of Fnatic back. Savage just taking the whole wave for free.
I guess maybe if they hit their level 2 marks a bit earlier, you can play around that, but you can see Jabs and Whitemon just really applying that pressure, and they break that tri lane up. So Fnatic do send Zephyr down. Bot to hold this out, but
yeah, Forever might be dead. They are not going to have quite enough damage, but they'll leave him on very, very low HP. He'll be able to salve up, and they are also going to split up now. So they'll go for the dual lanes down bot. Jabs and Cuckoo back with it, with each other, and Raven and Zephyr going to be there to help each other out as well. But it is a very, very strong lane here with Jabs Cuckoo, because you have the cookie into the hoof stomp. And that's not going to be very fun for Raven to play into.
No, it's a dangerous one. Lots of stuns can fly in. Cuckoo is tanky, so even if Raven can chip away a bit with a cleave, it's going to hurt him every single time to get those hits off. Cuckoo's just going to enjoy it. He's already dominating that Sven a fair bit, drawing even in farm, but forcing more regen to be expended by the Sven. Never a good time. Zephyr's going to have his work cut out for him. Still, the one lane we haven't really looked at, the mid lane. Abed and Moon up against each other, and you see Moon having a good, decent enough time with last hits, keeping up with Abed, but Abed's just so aggressive with the damage that Moon is gonna have to eat through his tangos fairly soon to just stay in that lane.
It's gonna be a tough one for Moon. I mean, that Empower does hurt quite a lot. He's trying to give it back though, and for now Moon is on top of the CS in terms of that mid lane. Really abusing that Dissimulate, but Abed now looking for a skewer, doesn't quite get it off. Moon will just Dissimulate out, doesn't want to risk anything. Again, it is going to be extremely important for both these guys to be able to get a good mid lane going for themselves. But bot lane, Zephyr very low, but he does go down first. Jabs is the second one to drop. And so first blood will go to the side of Among Us.
And you're going to be pleased with that. More EXP going the way of your trades. You know, Jabs is going to have a decent enough ride into level 3, slightly earlier than Zephyr would. So they're perfect fine, although they'll make moves in Cuckoo.
Cuckoo's hitting low. They will not have another stun, and those Purifying Flames actually probably going to help Cuckoo out. And they do. Because you want that level 2 Purifying Flames to really have some kill potential here onto Cuckoo. We'll throw out a Fortune's End just to send him off. And that'll be it. Zephyr does lose his own courier though, which is not very good.
It's a bit of a pain as he does need to continuously bring out regen just to maintain that lane for Raven still. Gonna be a bit of a slower start for that lane at least, but you can already see Jabs. It's the 4-minute mark going for those power runes.
And Moon. Oh, it's not going to be top lane. It's going to be bot lane, and that is a DD rune, which almost guarantees you the win in the mid lane now. Abed going to have a full bottle, going to have a DD rune active. That is really going to suck for Moon on the Void Spirit.
It's already a difficult enough time. The one thing here as well we're not quite seeing from FNATIC is a stack buildup for Raven. So Zephyr has no room to go out, stack some camps up for recovery. That's going to make it a bit tricky for Raven to find instant flash farm down the line. And you just look back at Raven. He's finding the last hits, but he's always so low. He does have the Morbid Mask. So he has some ways to regen himself. It's still not as smooth going. I mean, you look at Savage up top, 29-9. That's basically free farm. This is against a pretty aggressive lane. This should be more domineering from Forev, but all he can do is just kind of find his own waves to take some farm. Even then, it's 15-1. It's not amazing progress.
It's tough. Avalanche toss onto Whitemon, out to DJ. Savage wants to time walk forward, trying to get a bash off onto somebody, but is unable to. So Forev and DJ going to be safe to run out. They'll go ahead and take the bounties for themselves. But this is going to be a very big cause of concern once again. I mean, Savage just farms way too quick if he's left like this. Like you said, you haven't really been able to get the stacks off for Raven yet. So Raven doesn't really have any kind of big jungle stacks to go back to this game. Not yet anyway. We'll see if Zephyr does go and get that done now, or whether he is just going to follow Raven into the lane. And it looks like it is going to be the latter. Zephyr is going to follow up with Raven, not going to be willing to leave him alone up against Cuckoo, and they might try to go for a gank, but up at the top lane while they're doing that, Forev does die to Savage, and now Zephyr is going to get low, but will eat a Fairy Fire up. DJ now going to rotate in onto Cuckoo, and they should finally be able to kill this Centaur, and they do. Zephyr will be the one to take the kill.
It's a worthwhile trade for FNATIC. It's not the cleanest one. So that's dragging your support down bot as well, which means DJ isn't up top trying to slow down Savage. And that does mean Savage just continues to build that farm lead. 41-13 last hits. He's off to a really good start in the laning phase. He is going for the Battle Fury build on that Faceless Void now. So it looks like more emphasis on early farm here for Savage. I don't think we should expect him to join these early fights. Interesting build considering you already have Abed around, of course, with the Empower. but I guess they just want to take it a bit slower, get some initial mana and HP regen going for the Faceless Void as well. You can see FNATIC, they've got that level 6 on Moon. They want to get some early kills in this game.
Well, Savage could be in a spot of trouble. DJ with a nice avalanche and a toss up, and that'll be Savage gone. Good rotation out from Moon as well, and that is going to make Savage just slow down a little bit here on this Void. And that's what you want to see out of FNATIC. You need these more aggressive plays to happen.
Yeah, this is where they shine. When Moon gets active, when he finds the kills for his team, slows down the opposing side, he tends to be a lot happier. He's level 7 now in that Void Spirit, initial rotation success. Chipping away at the tier 1 just a tad. Now, they don't push the fastest, but you can see 4 maximizing this with a creep wave pull. With his Iron Shell, he can find that recovery farm at a good pace. So, just gonna try to force a response out up top. You can see down bot though, Among Us, they're getting ready. Savage is down there as well. He does have Chrono, in case anyone TPs in. And of course, you've got Cuckoo who can start tanking the tower after he clears the camp. It looks like it's gonna be a tower for tower trade here.
Yeah, very even. No real problems. Of course, the FNATIC boys will have a chance to try and defend that bottom tower if they want. They probably won't, however. Savage is there with the Chrono, and Cuckoo has the Stampede. You've also got Jabs in the background there, so it is not very safe to try and defend this tier 1 bot. And as long as you get the trade, you're going to be pretty satisfied with that. Especially considering now Raven is farming within safety. He still doesn't really have stacks to take, which is a problem, but at least he is still hitting creeps, which is what you want to see out of Raven.
Yeah, it's not quite the optimum farm, but it's a farm nonetheless. FNATIC's gonna take what they can get. They also invade the top jungle, and you can see there are some nice deep wards here from FNATIC, watching the lane, watching the Roche pit. So sneaky Roche plays for Among Us has to come with a smoke now, and this is definitely working on some weaknesses there in game 1. They never had vision on Roche. This time they've got very early wards out to ensure nothing sneaky can come out. And you know, with this invasion of the jungle, there's not too much room for Among Us to farm right now. It's not quite safe in that map.
DJ. Yeah, Whitemon won't try to go for it yet. I was about to point out as well that there was stacks in the Dire Triangle that they could go and try and steal with Raven. Arbed is naturally going to go ahead and start clearing them out right now. And that is going to be a fair bit of gold out for Arbed. Sure, Raven would have enjoyed it if he could steal it away, but they don't spot it out in time, and that's going to mean Arbed can't take all of it just for himself. That should also help him get to that Echo Saber builder and a nice early timing on this Magnus.
Yep, and that's really what Among Us is waiting for. It's a slower draft for them. They're going for bigger farm, emphasis on the farm, and they're also waiting for level 6s to be out. So Whitemon needs 6. You're going to need 6 in Jabs as well. And once you have that Static Storm and the Kisses, I think you can start to find some kill ops. But before then, you're waiting for Blinks. You see Cuckoo, he's about 800 off his Blink. So you're going to have at least 1 TP initiation ready in a minute or so. And that should allow Among Us some opportunities, but FNATIC, they're happy with this. Raven gets to farm. You're at a good point. Forev gets to play catch-up. He's going to have a mech up relatively soon on the Darkseer. And even Moon. Like, he's rushing the Ags first. So if they do get a big reveal on that when it's ready, then it's going to be a very, very big power spike there for FNATIC. Just worry about who gets to farm more efficiently, because it does look like, at least for FNATIC, the only one enjoying, or at least clearing these camps fast is really Raven. So got to find ways to keep up with that pace overall, and they do smoke up instead.
It's going to be a big smoke here, FNATIC. Who are they going to catch out, though? There's going to be a counter smoke out from Among Us. Cuckoo going to have the smoke broken. Will spot out DJ, but does run into him. Vacuum out from Forev. They are very low, but now the RP and Static Storm and the Mortimer's Kisses to fly in. Savage, no need to Chrono, but he will try and chase down Moon. The Aether Remnant not going to be able to catch him out, and Whitemon, he gets a great glimpse back on that Disruptor. Arbed to pick up another, and now they even chase down Zephyr. And that is just perfect play out from Among Us. Cuckoo once again baiting the side of FNATIC, and it does work out nicely.
Oh, that is such a big win. FNATIC, I thought they wanted to play the slower game. I thought they wanted to wait for these key items, but they get punished for rushing in. And Among Us, I mean, they just switch from farming into fighting really easily. They do have the bigger team fight spells there. They've got a lot better control. FNATIC have to be cautious now. They've given a nice clear lead to Among Us. And you've got that Echo Saber up on Abed, so it's onto the blink for him. And Cuckoo, he does have the gold for the blink in about 20, so he's going to have an easier way in the centaur to close the gap. And even Jabs, you can see our Snap is rushing that Ags on the support, so a lot of emphasis on that control.
Why not? Whitemon going to be caught out there. Moon will take the kill on the Void Spirit. His first kill of the game. I think there's just so much value in the Aghanim Scepter though for Jabs. He is going to spend some time now to go ahead and just farm that up. Already has the point booster on the way. He'll probably spend about 5-10 minutes trying to get the rest of that Ags up. Now, won't take too long as he does have the Scatter Blast and Cookie to abuse. And that's going to be problematic for FNATIC. We've seen the Ags so many times in the Snapfire, and it is very, very hard to know when it's coming for you. That's the thing.
Oh yeah, and it's down to those forward wards we got to see from FNATIC. These defensive wards right now are playing really nicely though. So you can see Among Us is playing down bot. They know exactly where Among Us is. Gives them the safe signal to clear out that top jungle and get a bit of a shove into the mid-tier one. Now, there's not too much progress made in these towers. That's the one thing both sides really need to get working on. But I think it's more important for FNATIC to lock in those farming areas. So it's on them to start clearing the mid-tier one. Among Us is pretty happy with how this is. They're just building up fine. They don't really care if they're not fighting because they're just waiting. It's a patience game for Among Us, and well, they're being very patient so far.
They are. Among Us just going to take over that Radiant jungle now. They have everything back up. Of course, they are willing to take a team fight, but they want to try and get someone mid. Instead, nobody's there, so they'll force the tier 1 tower. Now, they do tend to take it very, very quick, but there will be a Glyph forced out. There's a group up now from FNATIC. They're moving in to try and defend, but again, it's just so hard when they've got every ultimate up and available. The best they can probably ask for is a deny on that tower now. Still going to stick around. Among Us going for the skewer after DJ, but an avalanche will fly in. Still, they do get the glimpse off, but Raven, he's got it started and does get Jazz, but now Savage with the Chrono. They'll drop the wall in the middle of it with the Static Storm, but they are still fighting Among Us. They just don't seem to care as Abed goes for a double. There goes Raven, and now your RP comes out, back onto Forev. That'll mean Savage comes back in on the Void, but Zephyr is keeping them safe. FNATIC, they are buying back. They want to keep this fight going, but Zephyr will lose his life. Now Moon back in, onto Savage. They have the Aether Remnant, but Savage is able to time walk in time. And now Abed still going after DJ with the glimpse back from Whitemon. That'll be another, and Moon just cannot fight back. He'll try with the Surge and Iron Chop, but this is dangerous. Savage is going to turn around with the bashes now. I don't think they have the damage. Moon still trying with the Aether Remnant, but the Shockwave, 23 Savage, he will die, but they get the die back on Moon.
Oh,
and Cuckoo just gives him the tip. So thank you very much for that.
Oh boy, that is still a very big win for Among Us, although they're still chasing around the map.
One of his kisses to come. Cuckoo with a double hoof stomp out. Raven, he's still going to get the start off with the God Strength, trying to chase down Jabs. But the Scatter Blast going to kill off Forever on the Darks here, and Jabs is going to be on the run now. Is Cuckoo going to be there to protect him with a nice hoof stomp, and Jabs is going to fly away. He offers him a glass of water, which is nice.
Oh man, they are just styling. Among Us just on the edge. And now they have a 6k lead out of nowhere. They come out, they turn those fights, they force early buybacks. The biggest costing one was really DJ's. I don't think it was even Moons that's costly. It's DJ. Because he was so close to the blink, then he bought back, then died. So that blink's going to be another 1k gold away. It's so important for DJ to be the playmaker on the Tiny. He needs to blink, he needs to isolate heroes, find those kills. And every single moment that's delayed, it's going to hurt FNATIC. Now, you do have the build-up in Raven going well, though. He's already got the Heaven's Halberd, so he's got more stat resist, has a disarm to toss out onto Savage or Abed as needed. And that just gives more options here for FNATIC in these fights. gonna be rushing the Ags next, I believe, but has to be careful with where he goes out to.
Stormhammer out from Raven onto Whitemon. Glimpse out. Whitemon is going to be okay. Zephyr trying to go for the Purifying Flames, but can't get there. They can't get the Disruptor, but they're going to go into that top lane after Cuckoo, but he'll also just be safe. He's just going to walk away and they'll smoke up. Again, pretty much every ulti is up but the Stampede, but Whitemon getting caught there by Zephyr. Here comes Cuckoo, however, with the Hoof Stomp, and we'll get the trade. Into Raven now. Looks like Among Us. That may be it, or maybe they'll go after DJ in that mid lane. Abed has the Blink, has the Shockwave, has the RP as well, but doesn't really want to use it. So he'll leave DJ be. Does force a lot of rotations into that mid lane from FNATIC. Maybe they get Cuckoo here on the Centaur. He does have the Blink. He's not spotted. It's away. Moon still going to be on there with the 8th Remnant, but now the Static Storm has been dropped by Whitemon. They've got Moon in that Void Spirit. He's in trouble. Stormhammer going to fly through, but Savage is there to try and protect him. Now the Chrono and Moon. He's stepped back into it. Oh, now the Skewer back into the Chrono with the Mortimer's Kisses to fly in. And Savage gonna go straight after the Roshan.
Oh man, that was perfect timing for Among Us to fight. Savage just finished up the Monkey King bar, so he did switch out from the battlefield, but they go straight into it, and the damage is great. They've got a lot lined up. They still have the RP to play with from Abed. So the first age is once more going to Among Us, FNATIC. It's starting to get a bit dicey, Mike. 9-18, 9k lead for Among Us now. And they've got that Blink on DJ. He's going to have to put the work in for his team. I'd say a little bit more patience is required here. Moon needs the Ags on the Void Spirit. He needs that silence to be in play. He needs the charges on that Resonant Pulse. Before that point, it's just so difficult to be influential in the middle of everyone. Among Us is just way too big right now, and they need to just be patient. Once you have those key items up, you can start to go, but they've been very hasty in trying to jump in, and every time it's Cuckoo, and he's just too tanky to burst.
He is. When you have that Ags up on Raven, you'll feel a bit more confident to go into these fights. There's the Ags on Jabs. He's going to TP back towards his team into the mid lane. And Cuckoo going to catch out Moon through the Dissimulate. Savage just going to get some bashes, but DJ now getting a nice avalanche toss. Savage getting cooking forward. Another glimpse onto Moon with the Static Storm, and they do get the kill. Jabs with the Scatter Blast kills off the Void Spirit. They'll leave DJ and go after Zephyr instead. Ahmed just destroys him. And now for Rev, oh, he's going to get stunned up and get killed off. Just domination by Among Us.
They already have the Ags. Jabs. He beat up that retreat. They found more because of it. And now you are in a very bad spot for FNATIC. There is just no two ways. Jabs, early Ags timing on the snap. You've got so many ways to initiate. They're going to maybe find more with DJ.
Yeah, Whitemon, he's just so good with his positioning with this Disruptor. He's always there to get the glimpse back. And a lot of these kills can be attributed back to this Disruptor, just Whitemon. He's all over the place.
Yeah, his Static Storms have also forced Moon in very awkward positions multiple times. FNATIC, a 13k gap is pretty big, but not the worst. You've still got Raven with really good farm. He needs the Ags, though. Like, you need the Ags on this Sven and on this Void Spirit. They need the space, but there's not anything to happen. There's that spit.
Gobble up perfect onto Zephyr, but Savage will be vacuumed back. It just won't matter. just a great skill shot out from Jabs, just on point.
Oh, it's disgusting though. Like, just the freedom for Savage to get tossed in and just get a chrono off, or even an RP off for Abed.
Got the RP, he's onto Moon. Moon's going to try and fight back here with Raven. Arbed's a bit tanky, but DJ's going to come in, and now Arbed pops the BKB and the 3-man RP, and he's got help coming in. There's the Static Storm being dropped. Moon, he's stuck in there. He is going to tick out to Whitemon, and Arbed is going to walk himself out, and there's more coming. There's the Gobble Up Savage. He gets onto DJ, and now the Chrono also going to get Forev with another cookie out, and that'll be another kill for 23 Savage. And it's just domination. There's no other way to put it.
Oh, man, you can't even kill Cuckoo. I don't know what FNATIC expected, though. They knew the RP would come out from Abed. They knew he would have it. He didn't expend it. Ill-timed. Again, very hasty in trying to find these kills. It's delaying the Ags. And they lose a tier 2. Now, Raven is 2 parts away from the Ags. 500 gold off for the Sven. Gonna need a BKB afterwards if he wants, but even then the BKB doesn't block the RP, doesn't do anything for Chrono. Perhaps not this game. Still, you look at Moon, 1,000 gold off, 900 gold off from the Ags. Just wait for that. Maybe you can force another fight out. The outer towers will be taken though. Among Us, they're just too far ahead. They know they've got the opportunity. They're not gonna back down here.
No, no need to. There's your tier 2 mid going down. Arbed looks like he wants to start setting up for that top tier 2 tower on the mag. And he'll just skip the creep wave and get it started. Of course, Raven has been doing a good job of split pushing that top lane, but down the bot lane, Moon may have been caught. Mortimer's Kiss is out. He does dissimulate back towards Jabs, and now Astral steps away, but Whitemon has the vision, and the net is going to cancel the TP up from Whitemon. Gets another kill onto Moon, and that was just both supports now. That's a real problem.
Oh, no, it's... Yeah, it's troublesome. It's difficult to play in this game. You've got the Ags for Raven. Maybe you can make something happen, but how do you stop Savage? He still has the Aegis.
You got Raven. He's got the Ags coming out. Savage is just fine though. Like, he doesn't have Chrono up, but Arbed gonna jump in with a skewer back onto Forev, and Forev, he's gonna drop the back wall with the Avalanche, but now Savage gonna jump in after DJ and try to go straight after that Tiny with his BKB active. He does get the bash. It does kill off DJ, and nobody dies on the side of Among Us. Whitemon barely survived. He'll be able to just passively heal up. He has Static Storm again at 5, so he's sticking around with his team. They're gonna go for this high ground. They're not done. Good. Gonna jump in. Arbed is going to stand his ground on that tier 3. Chrono back up. RP also there, but they are going to find him back off. Unless Raven did try to Stormhammer in, but now they might turn. No, they don't seem to want to. Cuckoo's trying to bait here. Savage is looking down Raven. Well, they're just going to stick around for now.
Yeah, I mean, they don't really have a reason to pull back here Among Us. There is one outer tower left, which they seem to be drawing lines to, so that's going to be the next objective play. They do smoke up, though.
They got that Axe up on Moon. Gobble Up is there into Savage. Doesn't land on anyone, but Moon is getting bashed. He'll dissimulate. Savage in. Still not chronoing. He's waiting as Cuckoo will stampede forward. He's trying to find his target. Where is Savage? He went after Zephyr, but Zephyr has false promise. Now Savage on top of a cliff. I don't think that was the objective here. Moon, he's going to jump on top with the Stormhammer. Savage in trouble, but Jabs will save the day with the cookie. Back onto Zephyr, and now the Chrono comes out on the high ground, and he's going to throw the Mortimer's Kisses just to rub it in. Savage is going to die, but Arbed will take care of it. Now Arbed stuck up there, still has the RP, but there's a cookie out. Back into the Oracle, and Zephyr might just go down. Arbed getting low, DJ trying to finish him off, but he will survive on 90 HP. They just can't chase him down. Forever, he's trying, but he's out of mana. And Arbed, he's going to be fine. Maybe they get Jabs. He's just putting stickers down.
Oh, Jabs.
He just doesn't care.
Oh, boy. Oh, man. I mean, that was the best fight that we've seen from FNATIC. They did go tree for tree in the end because of the dieback on the Oracle, but they found Savage. They got that kill. Although
Moon, he's been caught mid lane. Whitemon and Cuckoo looking to take care of this one, and Moon, he is not going to be able to make it out in time. It's a very, very nice kill, and that kind of makes the team fight more worthwhile for Among Us now.
yeah, and they're going to be pleased enough. They do manage to get control back in that triangle as well. They take out the wards, so they've got constant vision. Of course, FNATIC should be aware of that, but they do have signs of life here, right? The Ags coming out from Moon and the Ags coming out from Raven are really starting to show up.
Raven, Abed's going to pop the BKB and just jump in. Gets the God Strength, but he's still running. He's not going to be able to fight back. And so now you've got the God Strength on cooldown for 2. Gobble Up is out to Whitemon. Whitemon just gets sent to his death. Cookie is actually going to save him. Jabs going to slow down DJ, but now a great back wall out from Forev. And he does get Whitemon, but now Abed, he's going to go back in for a 2-man RP. He can't really skewer them back, however, but it won't matter because Savage will jump in. It's just a mess in the mid lane, but DJ's going to die. There goes Abed on your mag. Zephyr might drop through the false promise. They also get Moon on the Void Spirit, and now Savage on a triple, looking for an ultra, and he might just get it because Forev is getting bashed up, trying to run with the surge. He'll get back to the fountain, and Savage will be unwilling to die at the fountain, but he will go back to the T3 tower in that mid lane.
It's going to be a bit slower without Abed around, but you're still in a good spot to take these objectives. The Chrono is going to be up again, so even if the defense comes out, you're going to have a way of forcing a fight out for yourself still. The Glyph does come in. They play it safe. Tower did take a lot of damage, but not going to clean up the objective. And they still maintain a big lead. 21k, 14 to 36 here. Among Us, no pressure. They don't need to rush into the high ground. They've already controlled most of the map. I'd say set their eyes on that tier 2 top, actually clean up that objective, and then you can really start to hammer and knock on the high ground. You've got this refresh coming out for Abed as well. He's about 300 gold off. So once you've got the double RP, you're going to be in a lot of a better spot. But you can see FNATIC are trying to find something.
They are. Raven to make his way in. Doesn't have that BKB up yet on the Sven. Love to try and just secure a kill with his team. Among Us just going to stand by that tier 3 tower, or tier 1 tower. There's a refresher orb now on Abed. Okay. So double RP is available. He'll go for the Roshan plate.
FNATIC, it's one of those situations again. They don't have a ward for Roche. It's where a lot of teams tend to fall flat, it seems, against Among Us, and it's just another freebie. So Savage has the second life. They've got the cheese as well, and that's going to make it trickier now to fight into these tanky heroes. You can clearly take that tier 2 top, and then it's about the high ground. Like, they're going to find a tier 1 for themselves and bot. Not the biggest tower to take, but they can't apply that tier 2 pressure. In fact, looking at it, Among Us still has their mid tier 1. FNATIC has just not found progress where it counts on the map, and it's costing them. So clean high ground now. Have to be wary. Double RP for Abed gonna be scary to fight into.
It's back who they caught was Moon, but he does manage to assimilate out of that one. Savage. That Aegis gonna feel pretty safe. It's gonna be hard to make the jump in, and you really do have to be cautious about Abed's position. He can just end the game right here, right now, if the side of FNATIC aren't too careful. Savage is getting edicted up by the Oracle, but it's only just delaying things for Savage. Now he's going to make the jump in onto Zephyr, but is not going to be able to go for the kill. But there's a gobble up in onto Abed. He'll get a skill back onto Zephyr, and that means Zephyr is going to die. Now the Chrono's out. They've caught 2. Savage going to go after Forev, and it looks like Forev has no way out of this one. He's been hoof stomp up, and he's gone. Raven will Stormhammer in again. but didn't even pop the God Strength. He knows he can't fight this one out. Meanwhile, Moon did kill off Jabs on the Snapfire, but the rest of his team is just dying.
Oh man, it's very, very challenging now for FNATIC to find those openings. They need to buy back on Raven if they want to hold on to any of these racks.
He's gonna jump in. Savage. Arbed showing he still has that RP. They're gonna go back in onto DJ. Arbed uses one RP, does miss, uses the second, does miss. And Moon is gonna catch him now, and I believe that was Arbed just telling them he doesn't need the RPs. Moon trying to hit him, but Arbed's ignoring him. He's going after the rats.
Oh.
And that's called asserting your dominance, kids. It's not much to it. Arbed just doesn't see a threat. Savage gonna get jumped on here. Has the Aegis, gonna take the racks and will let the Aegis go. Gets caught by the Aether Remnant. Savage in trouble. Does have the BKB. Will time walk to get full HP back up. And he's gonna TP in front of him. So now they're gonna try and go for the fight. They might catch out Cuckoo here on the Centaur. And it looks like that is the only option for them. Cuckoo will cop the death for the team. Everyone else is going to be able to get out just fine, and Chaps throwing Arbed onto the cliff. Very, very nice. Arbed will skewer off.
Man.
They're just having fun now. They're not even playing seriously anymore.
No, this is yeah, you know what it reminds me of, Mike? It reminds me of when Ice was in FNATIC. Remember those games where just kind of AFKs in a team fight? It's like that.
Storm. Spawn out DJ. Moon going to try and jump in onto White Mom, but Savage is going to be there. The time dilation. Still wanting to go after that Void Spirit. DJ also on the run. Everyone is going to be able to TP out in time.
That's fortunate for FNATIC.
Raven doesn't opt for the BKB.
What?
Goes for the Echo.
This late on?
Yeah.
It's a really late Echo though. Like it's a strange one, but I know about it. Like a BKB would have been more helpful.
Whitemon does have the Aghanim Scepter coming out, so I guess maybe that's why, because he's going to be muted anyway. But I'd still argue the BKB is way more useful than the Echo.
Oh, for sure. Like the double attack doesn't do much at this point because you already right-click fairly fast. The stats are decent, but these are mid-game stats. If you were going for stats, you'd go for something else. You'd go Scotty maybe. Maybe a casual SNY to boost yourself up. A bit more value still. You're going to go into the Crystalist next year for Raven, so his damage will shoot up, but you've got a Butterfly on Savage. So you're not going to hit him when it comes down to it. If you're going to just stand and fight the Void, he is probably not going to get any hits off. And off just pump faking that RP now. Doesn't care.
Nope. DOTA Plus is sitting at 100% by the way.
Oh,
has been for
finally.
about 5 minutes, it seems like. Actually, it's been
play.
quite a while. Mid lane, Raven does get Whitemon, but now Stampede in. Jabs is going to get vacuumed out. No. Savage is there with the 3-man chrono, and now the RPs are out. They want one person, and it's going to be Raven. Arbed now looking for a secondary RP. We'll go after Forev. Raven's still alive, but there's your RP again from Arbed, and that'll mean Savage can walk back in and go after Moon, but that Edict is again disarming Savage, so he can't finish him off. It's a 3-for-1 trade. FNATIC are winning this one. Back in with the Avalanche toss. Savage does tie. Now FNATIC able to maybe get Arbed on this Magnus. They'll chase him down with the Fortune's End, and it looks like Arbed will be the 5th one to drop here. And suddenly FNATIC have a full team wipe.
Oh, no buybacks as well. So there's a lot of objectives to melt through if they had the chance. Now, they don't have their Sven, so their right-click potential is actually not that high. Moon can at least take the mid-tier 1. Maybe the mid-tier 2 take some chip damage as well. But Among Us, those are pretty long timers, to be fair. FNATIC has a lot of space now on the map. They can try to take some safe objectives and take some control back here.
They've got to get it done fast. I mean, the real shame is that Raven can't get any farming because he is still dead. Looks like they have spotted out Whitemon, and he'll go for the Yules up. Static Storm to be dropped with the Aghanim Scepter Storm, and now Jabs is there with the Mortimer's Kisses, and once again the supports of Among Us will kill off Moon on the Void, and now even DJ gonna get spotted out. He's trying to fight back with the toss, but it's probably gonna be no good as Jabs is gonna be in, and that is gonna be DJ gone.
Oh man, Among Us. I mean, it's not a good sign when your supports can just finish off. When your supports can just finish off Moon solo. You know, like Moon, I don't know. He's got the BKB, so maybe he can preempt that, at least get it off before the Static Storm comes, and then you're in a pretty smooth spot. But he needs to be a lot more careful. He's being punished hard. They only found a tier 1 mic. That is literally it. They couldn't even take the tier 2 mid. It is low, but everyone's up and chasing.
Stampede. They found Zephyr. Get used up by Whitemon into Savage. False promise he could use, but no. He's not going to bother. He'll hold on. He does have buyback. He will have to expend it very soon, as it looks like Among Us want to try for the high ground. They may have had enough fun now. But Zephyr's going to be there to delay things. With the eating. The Fate's eating.
Yeah, it's still gonna be a hard one. I mean, you've got Raven, who could still do some damage, but these objectives probably not gonna stand for too long. Now, you have Moon back up as well. You go for a silence play.
Smoke up. Among Us, Moon. He's going to jump in. Stormhammer as well, but a Chrono is going to land. It was a nice back wall, but it may not matter as Arbed now does get the RP off the chain, and the Mortimer's Kisses are going to fly in, and even more heroes to come in from Arbed. He's just delivering them to Savage. Oh, that's it. GG's call. They've had enough. Arbed, delivery man of Among Us, has delivered.
Man, FNATIC, they had some shining moments, but Among Us, they sent a message today, Mike. The series we were looking for, you know, it came out, and Raven, I mean, he was asking for it earlier, Mike. He was asking Cuckoo, can I have a win? And Cuckoo told him, well, you got to come back. You know? So FNATIC, not there, Mike. Among Us, still undefeated, clean series for them. They were just having fun.
Well, with that, John, we move on to our next series. It is going to be the side of Execration versus